The accompanying table of data is adapted from a study of a test for tuberculosis among patients diagnosed with pulmonary TB. Estimate the sensitivity and the specificity of the test. So here are the test results in this table. In this first column, we have the results that have TB, and in the second column are those that do not have TB. Have the disease, do not have the disease. The first row are those that test positive, second row are those that test negative, and then the total of each of those on the bottom. So this first box here is true positives because it's those that test positive and have the disease. False positives are those that test positive but do not have the disease. Then we have true negatives in this box here because they're people that test negative and do not have the disease. Whereas this box are those that test negative but they actually have the disease, so they're false negatives. When we're finding the sensitivity of a test, we're finding the probability that a person tests positive and has the disease. So it's the true positives divided by all who have the disease. So that concerns this first column here. We use this first column to find the sensitivity of the test. The true positives divided by all that have the disease. So we have 571 is the true positives divided by all with the disease would be 571 plus 259. Simplifying, it's 571 over 830. If we add those together, this number equals, we divide 0.688, which we multiply by 100% to make this a percent. Another 8 there. Then we get to move the decimal 2 places to the right, which leads to 68.9% if we round to 1 decimal place, adding 1 to this 8 because this number is larger than 5. So the sensitivity of our test, the probability that a person who does have the disease tests positive is 68.9%, which makes sense because the true positives are just over half the total number of people that have the disease. The specificity of a test is the probability that a person who tests negative does not have the disease. So it's the true negatives, those that do not have the disease, divided by all who do not have the disease. True negatives, those that test not having the disease, divided by all that do not have the disease. So we use this column here to find the sensitivity or specificity. We use this column to find the specificity of the disease. The true negatives is 162. We divide by the total that do not have the disease to find the specificity. So that's 162 divided by 162 plus 8, all that do not have the disease. True negatives and the false positives. So that's 162 divided by 170, which if we simplify this fraction, we get 0.953. Converting this to a percent by multiplying by 100%, 9.95.3%. Specificity. Which makes sense because the true negatives is almost all that do not have the disease, all without the disease. 162 is almost as much as 170, so it is over 90%. probability that you'll have a true negative not having the disease.